Hello, my name is Valray and I post a lot about subcultures. And recently I posted a video encouraging people to do DIYs and I had a few ideas in there and everyone seemed to really love it and I love doing it. So I'm gonna keep doing it and we're gonna keep watching it. Okay. In this video I did like 3 or 4 and then I tried one thing I saw from the comment section that I was very interested in. I'll be doing more from the comment section in that past video later on in my next video on this, so there will be more. But I do want to put out another video just so I can get some more ideas and you can keep asking. So in my previous video I used a lot of spikes and studs and I took this off of something that I had already thrifted, but in the comment section people did point out you're not going to need a whole bag of studs if you're doing one craft. You know, buying studs is still buying studs. Thrifting things with those on them, not guaranteed. The consensus was that if that's your situation, try making spikes and studs out of cans. So I did try that in this video. I hated it. I did not enjoy doing it. Will I keep doing it? Of course I will, because I liked the result. It was very cute. I had some problems. I cut myself a few times, but that's because I didn't wear gloves and I didn't save my edges and I didn't take the proper precautions and I wasn't really paying attention. That was human error. That one was on me. So I'm gonna start the video with that. I got a whole lot of cans. I used a can, scissors, pen, paper, markers, X-Acto knife, and some tape. I only needed those bits because I ended up taping the template instead of just drawing the template straight onto the aluminum, which I should have done. I found a few off Pinterest, but I ended up working with the one I felt was best, and I did it out of paper before I did it out of aluminum, and then I used that same paper to make a template for the aluminum. I used an X-Acto knife to create a hole in the can so that I could cut it out better. I want a higher quality, but every time I start projecting my voice, I feel so fake. Anyways, now we're folding, okay? So there was supposed to be 5 spikes, I did 4. Why was there supposed to be 5? Because there's an overlapping bit where you're supposed to fold in a spike. Did not do that. Now I only had 3. When I poked it into the fabric, I only had 3. It sucked. Still looked very cute though. And then I tried studs. Oh my god, it was so bad. I don't do the studs. Me trying it was honestly embarrassing. I hope you do better. On a more like tutorial-y note, what you're supposed to do when you fold it in is there will be a little bit where it overlaps. Once you have that spike folded in, you should have 4 spikes left, and those are the ones you poke into the little fabric. Next thing I worked on was this felt wallet. I did not do it very well. I feel like I messed up a few bits, but honestly, I'm not even gonna address the parts where I messed up because it's all cosmetic and it works, it's cute, and I like it, so it doesn't matter. For this, you need felt, either multicolored or white felt with fabric paint. I did white felt with fabric paint. I traced my cardstock template and then I created 4 felt squares and then I used my fabric scraps to make little pictures and details. I scrolled a bit on Pinterest to figure out what I wanted. I ended up doing this blue and pink ombre with some white in the middle, and then I went on Pinterest and found these super cute skulls and I recreated them onto cardstock. They're not my original like design or anything. They're just something I thought was cute and I made it for me. I then used it as a template to cut out a red piece and then a white piece, and then I created some spine pieces that were going to go down the middle. Obviously I didn't measure anything, so it wasn't immediately down the middle, and I did mess it up a little bit by not sewing the pockets to the actual thing before I started painting it and doing all these details, and so when I went back and re-sewed it, it did look kind of janky, but it's okay because I like it. Anyways, I used fabric glue to glue it down, and then I kept it pinned so the next day I could go to school and sew it. And after I sewed it and I had everything glued down, I took some Sharpie, made some details, and then everything was done and it looked so cute and I really like it and I'm actually going to use it because I'm like really proud of it. I was thinking the last and final thing I wanted to do, I had a bunch of safety pins lying around and I also had all the scraps from my felt wallet, so I wanted to make some little felt pins. In my last video I did a tutorial for patches and I ended up using one of these patches to make a pin, and then I made a pin completely from scratch. I ended up doing a little Polaroid. For this, I used felt scraps, a patch, fabric scissors, fabric glue, and safety pins. After cutting a tiny strip of fabric, I put the sewing pin like flat side down, glued it over it so that I could make a pin out of a patch. After that, I took the felt scraps from my previous project and I was able to make a cute little Polaroid from this little picture that I couldn't fit into a friend's Christmas gift, so I just had lying around. I cut out a little pocket for the photo to sit in, and after getting my work deeply inspected, I sewed it up, glued on the pin, and then I was done. This one's super quick and easy. Felt around the jump ring, and then you make your cart cutouts or whatever shape you want. You sew them together. I did 2 backs so that I could sew the keychain part inside the 2 backs, and then I did some Sharpie details, and I was done. I do really enjoy doing DIY videos. I enjoy doing DIYs in general. I do them all the time, so now I'm just like filming it whenever I do it. I do want to keep making videos in the future about this, so if you have any recommendations or any DIYs that you want to tell me that you're doing, please do. please do. On that note, that is everything I did in this video. So if you are interested in seeing more DIYs, I do have another part 1 to the series up, and then I also have a few different videos on the history of subcultures where I talk about DIYs and fashion. But if you're a little bit more into me and not into what I talk about, I do have some vlogs up as well about how I throw parties, what I do at school, getting ready to go back to school, and things like that. Speaking of school, I'm actually getting some senior photos done very soon, and I will be posting a tutorial on how I made my dress for my senior photos. So I'm like very, very excited for that.